Now, for this apology, I do not have a ukulele, but I do have a flute. Just kidding, I also don't have a flute. I have 2 flutes. Imagine a tournament where every single contestant is so mother that every decision I make feels like a betrayal. That is what I am mentally preparing for today. You saw the title, it's gonna be a bloodbath. It's gonna be a bloodbath. This is the 3rd entry of my series, The Diva Tournament, where I pit the most divalicious divas of a video game up against each other to find out who is the top queen, where the winner, of course, will be the recipient of the prestigious Diva Cup. Available in my merch store now, wink wink, nudge nudge. We've done Marvel Rivals, we've done Pokemon, and after 30,000 of your votes, we have decided on our newest entry, Hades. We all know Hades, we all love Hades, we're all gay here, or at least gay adjacent, so honestly, a perfect fit. For anyone new here, hi, my name's Blake, a lot of y'all think my name is Jake, If you enjoyed today's video, please make sure to subscribe, or if you hated it and just want to watch me out of spite, I am not picky. Now, I am aware that comparing the yassification of the Greek goddesses is how the first Trojan War began, but I am equally aware that if this video causes Trojan War 2, this time it's personal, I'm gonna get so many fucking viewers. Now, before we begin, I am nowhere near an expert in Greek mythology. I am an expert in serving I have also not played this game since I beat it in December of 2021. I am viscerally aware that having a large queer audience is the equivalent of having a large Greek mythology hyperfixation audience. So if I forget that Zagreus has 3 freckles on his ass instead of 2, do not burn me at the stake. I cannot emphasize this enough. This is a vibes-based channel. We are here for fun and fun. Absolutely not facts. I am not a video essay channel. ContraPoints has mastered the craft. I do not have to add my perspective into it. We're good. We're good. So all I ask is that if you are going to dunk on me for my misinformation in the comments, make it funny. So without further ado, let us begin. The way I cracked this open at 7 p.m., I'm not going to sleep tonight. And worry not, viewers, Ghost has still not sponsored me, but they're going to one day. I just know they are. Don't you worry one bit. So for my Diva tournaments, I usually do 32 slots, and luckily the first Hades game has 31 characters, so we can do the whole video with just 1 buy. We can do it with just 1 buy, if that does not perfectly describe my target audience. But I digress. It's time for round 1. Ooh, Zagreus versus Aphrodite. Oh, what a way to start. Okay, so Zagreus, our titular character, obviously an ally because he's played by us, he kind of has to be. Like, I feel like Zagreus just like turns around and looks past the switch screen and is just like, ah, yes, another one, cool. Now Zagreus, interesting character, good plot progression, has daddy issues, who of us doesn't? And he is captivating in like a One Direction kind of way. Like let's just call it what it is, he is hot. But this does bring up a trope that is going to be very frequent in this tournament, and that is having to decipher between I want to go to bed with you and I want you to be my CEO. To me, attraction has almost nothing to do with being diva, because in my mind, a cornerstone of being diva is unattainability. So Zagreus is great, but I'm not really feeling diva, especially when you compare it to the competition.
Pink wig, thick ass, give him whiplash.
Aphrodite. The acrylics, the mug, the breasting boobly. My God, what a first entry. Also, in a Diva tournament, I have no choice but to give bonus points to people who show up to the function head to toe wearing pussy pink. She said pink is the color of my ensemble. The judges who are judging are ensemble gay, and that is all I need to win the ensemble day. Mid-white boy makes an attempt at rapping. Call that every episode of Drag Race. There is another factor that I feel acts as a catalyst for her motherdom, and that is fear. This is a wig-snatching, car-keying, meet you in the parking lot girl. And I am very aware of that. If I do not give this girl the flowers she is owed, and do not put her at least into the second round, I'm not surviving this video. If I fail to do so, and you notice that I have not posted in like 3 to 4 weeks, it was probably Aphrodite, or at least one of her followers. And that's fair, honestly. I feel like it's pretty clear. Aphrodite, moving on, mama, love you. Thanatos versus Poseidon. Okay, so Thanatos attempting some bonus points with a little nip slip, very tasteful. I feel like Thanatos was made for Lord of the Rings enthusiasts who are really interested in the plot. Shot in the dark because we're very early in this tournament. I do feel like this is going to be the most mother of the males. You know what I mean? Like, I guess it's probably a spoiler to say that it's probably gonna be a girl that wins this, let's be honest here. But does Thanatos ascend past gender? Arguably. Like, Thanatos is male the same way Sephiroth is male. Like, he's male legally, but that's about it. I do think that Thanatos was at least slightly blessed with the feminine divine. And I do envy that. I do envy that. That is very admirable. Like, if this is what is greeting me at death's door, Daddy. Now comparing him to Poseidon, something wet joke, something pussy, you know the vibes. I do write some like bullet points for the characters to discuss, and my only bullet point for Poseidon is acknowledge the bicep. And honestly, past me was right. Like that is an so honestly not a very fair fight. If we're comparing this in terms of like Diva, yes, God, mother, boots the house down, I mean, it's Thanatos. So moving on up Thanatos, as they say in Sweden, slayin' queenin'. So by will of the gods, Hermes is getting a bye this round, and so I will hold my conjecture about him until the next round. However, what's that in that spot? Is that the sponsor of this video, Rocket Money? Hello, my divas. I'd just like to take a quick second to thank the sponsor of this video, Rocket Money. Besties, I told you before about subscription fatigue, and I think I saved a few of you last time, but I don't think my mission is complete yet. Between work, school, the world still being... I understand if you need a gentle reminder to save a few bucks. But luckily, Rocket Money is here to help. Rocket Money is an easy-to-use app that helps you save more and manage your money better. I cannot tell you how many times I've accidentally subscribed to an editing assets package and just completely forgotten once I've finished using it for the video. As I was writing this, I realized I was still paying $10 a month to a text editing service that I used exactly one time. So once again, I wish I'd been using this app because it does save their users up to $740 a month when they use all their premium features. And I could have been one of them. But I guess wasting money is my passion. But luckily, stupid money hemorrhaging past me has one weakness: letting an app do my job for me. So take control of your finances, Diva. Visit rocketmoney.com/Blake Jennings or click the link in my description to get started for free. Thank you again so much to Rocket Money for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back to the Diva tournament. So Rocket Money, you are iconic, but Hermes is actually one of the characters in this game, so I'm going to have to move him forward. Love you bunches. Personally, I prefer Fat Dionysus for obvious reasons. I will acknowledge that it is pretty mothered though to face most, if not all, of life's adversities with f it, we ball. Like for me, being Diva requires a sort of above it attitude. Like you're never gonna get too locked into a problem in life. And I truly don't think Dionysus ever has. Like I do feel like he would address his house being foreclosed with people still have houses in 2025. That's so embarrassing. Honestly, me, if this video doesn't do well, like and subscribe, Now we do have to compare it to Persephone. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm a little triggered about this situation. Small side tangent, I'll keep it short if possible, but you know me, I probably won't. In a short series that I made about Hades, I did say that Persephone hates her husband, Hades. And I kind of meant it as more of like, oh, I hate my husband, but people took it seriously and they had words, lots and lots of words. And while I do feel like we could be using our time more wisely, I do feel that I owe these people an apology. Now for this apology, I do not have a ukulele, but I do have a flute. Just kidding, I also don't have a flute. I have two flutes. I am so sorry to every Persephone simp I insulted. I am aware of my actions and how they have negatively impacted the lives of thousands. I thought I was avoiding major spoilers down the line in the game, but apparently I should have known that Persephone loving Hades is common knowledge. Who is this common knowledge to? Your guess is as good as mine, but it's certainly not common knowledge to my community, the community who has 2 jobs, 2 energy drinks, and 2 fantastic cheeks to sit on. If you would like to make a donation to the Make Blake Better campaign, my Venmo is Blake-Jennings-2, Blake-Jennings-1, count your days. This will do nothing, but I will have more money, and that's cool. Light and love always, Blake, insult to mythology, Jennings. So while normally Dionysus would have had a really good chance here, I feel like I am obligated to move Persephone forward. I mean, she is mother, like she's literally mother. So I mean, it's not like it's a hard twist my arm, but I do feel like I owe these people something. So Persephone, you are moving on up, girl. Oh, Nyx versus Achilles. Oh, the big dogs have come to play now. Okay, so Nyx, honestly, goth girlfriend, if she went to Mother University, majoring in servitude with an emphasis in the symmetrical face, the flawless makeup, the eyes that say that I would break the Geneva Convention easily to win this tournament. And that drive is something the judges have to take into consideration. Consideration. Is it like completely obvious that I've never played a game of football in my life? Now her competition, Achilles, that's a little gay boy. He may be built like a tank, but that little heel said, don't forget your roots, bitch. Also a complete side tangent, but I did used to do competitive gymnastics growing up. Pause for y'all to be shocked. And I had to quit eventually because when I was 11, my Achilles tendon almost gave out. My Achilles heel was literally my Achilles heel. So this one is a little personal. You did ruin everything for me. I could have been the next Simone Biles. I am aware that I'm 6'2". There is absolutely no way I would have been the next Simone Biles. Also, tangent on a tangent, a lot of people, whenever I tell them my height, that I'm 6'2", they're like, there's no way. Apparently, I give off like 5'8" energy, and you know what? I respect it. I get it. Anyway, back to Achilles. My man did risk it all for his bottom of choice, and that is pretty diva. He said, I don't care if we're about to lose this war. My favorite hole just got an ouchie. So comparing the two, it does get pretty difficult because while Achilles is a diva and literally put a war on pause for his man, Nyx would never care that much about anybody. And there is something about being above it that is super mother. To achieve true divadom, I believe requires a level of flippance where you truly can't 100% care about anything. You have to be willing to risk it all. And I find that Nyx is probably that girl to do so. So Nyx, you are moving forward. Love you, girl. All right, Cerberus versus Sisyphus. That's a really fun sentence to say, actually. So Cerberus, the first two heads, not a thought behind those eyes. They definitely thought that the Cold War was a real war. This third head, however, serving. Like, how's your head? Deadly. This is the last thing you see before you perish. And honestly, gladly. But he is having to carry all the on his back. Like, it's very much giving be strong for mother. And I do feel that that puts him at a disadvantage because he's being held back by his two other siblings. They're not pulling their weight. Like, this poor Diva can never get away with shoplifting from Eclairs because the other two siblings are too distracted, loudly playing with the puppet fidget toys. So when comparing it with his competitors, we will have to average the sleigh, you know? But I think it might have a chance because its competition is Sisyphus. And so here's the thing about Sisyphus. His name is the ultimate irony because there is nothing sissy about this man. Like, if this man was competing to be my husband, no contest. Like, I am nothing but a mouth or a hole or a bank account, whatever you need. Like, this is human Shrek on crack. Those are the eyes of a man who has never made above a B- on an essay. Also, these developers were so horny. Why is he flashing Pit? Do not be disillusioned. I'm happy about it, but who approved this? So again, I'm going to have to step out of myself and my own personal biases and compare this in terms of Diva, not in terms of daddy. So Cerberus, particularly Miss Ma'am in the back, you are moving forward. I'm gonna be honest, Baldy is just me after I've finished filming these videos for 4 hours and have chugged 2 energy drinks during that time. It is truly such a 1-2 punch, and I feel like such a shell of a man when I'm done filming these. So just know what I do for you. Love you. Now, in terms of mothering, he could use a little contour. It is kind of giving the SpongeBob grandma the I remember chocolate, I always hated it. Now, she was pretty Diva, admittedly so, I can't deny that. So slight bonus points, I will give her that much. Now, her competition, Asterius. This is one where my instincts want to give him bonus points for reasons that I will have to attune for at Heaven's Gates when the time comes. But again, as referee, I do have to keep myself strictly professional. While I would let this cow on my farm any day of the week, I don't think he's very Diva. Like, sure, skirt, iconic. Pink horns, well, you know what, now that we talk about that out loud. And honestly, his competition, I feel like just needs to be put out to pasture. So I think he's gonna be fine this round. So Asterius, I will be moving you on. I'm not sure if you will make it to the finals, but if you wanna make it to Red Lobster sometime, I am free on Tuesday at 7, which is when I'm free, which is going to be Tuesday at 7, which is 7 p.m. on Tuesday, if you were wondering, which is Tuesday at 7. So Karen, I actually did play this character in an opera once. Well, actually I was understudy. I was like 1 push down the stairwell away from playing it. So I do hold a soft spot for this one. It's very much giving the gay uncle that teaches you curse words growing up. But like, sure, he's a little rough around the edges, but he's lived in the Lower East Side for 35 years. I would be more shocked if he didn't look like this. If having a conversation with you doesn't make me feel like I'm staring into the void, then you clearly haven't lived in New York City for at least 5 years. And let me tell you something. Surviving the hustle and bustle of New York City is quite a feat, I will say that. Very mother. Now his competition, Miss Medusa. Obviously, real Medusa, so very. Now this version, I will say her body is non-existent. Skinny! There's a new land. However, the glance in her eyes makes me feel that she cares too much. I've said this before, but I do feel that you have to have a sort of laissez-faire attitude to achieve maximum attitude. It's a little bit like Navi from Zelda. Very girly pop. However, and this is obviously up for debate, in my mind, Diva dog walks girly pop every day of the week and twice on Sunday. Like, you have to respect those that came before you, and in my opinion, Diva is the elder to girly pop. Girly pop has its place in this world. It should not change a thing, it's perfect. However, as I keep making these videos, I have come to realize it does not have a spot in Diva tournaments. So I will say begrudgingly, as someone who absolutely respects when people care too much about things, I think I have to give this to Karen. I'm so sorry. Ooh, Patroclus versus Chaos, bottom versus bottom, let's go. First of all, Patroclus, oh, those longing eyes, those dads were so horny. And honestly, I wouldn't want it any other way. Smack my ass. This is the Achilles bottom in question. Wars were put on pause for him, and all I can say is, God, I wish that were me. Also, another one where the man is so hot, but I have to let go of my frankly pathetic urges and not feel an absolute bias to move this hunk of a man forward. But I will say that is very easy when you compare it to his competition. Oh my God, it's Chaos, girl, it's Chaos. Chaos is so gender, so f***ing gender. I think I've alluded to this before in previous videos, but there is just something about a cosmic horror that is so Again, this is a tournament where fear plays a very large role in these observations, and Chaos has that in spades. Like, are you gonna tell this person, I'm so sorry, you're not advancing to the next round? Their pronouns are threads. So I said it's like a bottom off, but honestly, it's like a competition of like bottom versus bottom. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we all know which bottom goes forward in that competition. So congratulations, Chaos, you are moving forward, Diva. So Zeus is kind of a diva in the sense that he f***s whoever he wants, whenever he wants. but for that exact same reason, he's kind of a terrorist. Like, I am no Greek mythology expert, but it seems to me, from what I know, that most of the world's problems would not happen if Zeus could just keep his pee-pee out of things. I can't give concrete examples because I don't do research before my videos, but it seems to me that most Greek mythology stories that I have heard all start with, and then Zeus f***ed them after his wife said, please don't do that. So Diva in the sense of I do what I want, not Diva in the sense that he's not supporting women in this situation. This seems not very feminist in my opinion. Maybe it's up for debate. It doesn't seem very feminist to me. Now his competition Electo, if ever there were a character made thinking of the lesbian gaze, slightly terrifying, has a whip, wears a pantsuit, the AO3 fanfiction writes itself. Like, this is Christian Grey from 50 Shades if he was actually good in bed. Side note, I just watched those movies for the first time and I cannot believe the love scenes that I saw. It's literally 3 seconds of foreplay followed by a minute and a half of missionary every time. And we're supposed to just believe this man when he says, I f*** hard. So yeah, Electo would make him look like a celibacy advocate, and that is so mother. So in my opinion, not a really tough choice. Electo, you're moving on, Diva. Okay, so Eurydice. God, these developers were so gay. If I'm being honest, she has like a Brooklyn-esque diva-ness about her. Like, I'm not gonna see her in a Paris Fashion Week runway. However, I am going to move out of her way if I see her at a flea market because I know she's on a mission. There is a halter top with 4 holes in it somewhere in that flea market, and she is going to wear the absolute out of it. Also, her story is one of the few that I know in Greek mythology, and I will say that I have a soft spot for her because she did nothing wrong. Another one where women's stories matter. They just matter. Her whole thing is getting f***ed over by men. Who can relate, am I right, ladies? Men are terrible. And honestly, what a fitting competitor because her competition is Aries. Listen, would I take him to dinner? But Aries, Diva, right, and Santa is real and girls don't poop, sure. Ladies, if you're watching this with your man, I just wanted to say, hey fellas, I was just kidding. Girls don't poop, never have, never will. Not gonna happen. A super easy choice, sorry. You're ready to see, you're moving on, love you, girl. So Hypnos, we do have to respect the fact that he capped his teeth for this tournament. That is not going unnoticed. I am aware of the fact that you paid exorbitant amounts of money to step your pussy up. Like, he really does have it all. The fashion, the greater than thou stare. He donates to charities, but you're gonna know he donates to charities. Also, what's more mother than a little updo? But I will say, what is an updo compared to a ponytail? Athena. No introduction needed, if I'm being honest. Like I said, there is nothing that wets my whistle more than a ponytail. And let me tell you, my whistle is sopping right now. Actually, that's her hat. I don't give a to create the illusion of a ponytail is arguably even ***ier. Like, Hypnos in any other situation, I think would probably move forward. But my God, what do you do against Athena? I'm sorry. She's so petty too. Like, she's so petty and it's so fun. So honestly, I'll keep this short. I feel like Hypnos is playing with the big leagues right now with Athena. Like, it was a really unfair first round, but I mean, who is gonna beat Athena this early in the game? Absolutely not Hypnos. Oh no, this is a tough one. Megara versus Demeter. This is such a hottie McThottie, I'm sorry. She's so fierce too. You know she had a gaggle of gay friends in middle school because she would beat people's asses if they were being homophobic. Did she start pulling less hair as she got older? Absolutely, but she did not unsharpen that tongue, I will tell you that much. God bless the bars that she frequents because I know at least once per hangout night, she reads a bitch down. So it would be pretty hard pressed to find somebody who could beat Megara, but she's so mother! Demeter. I want to know the down bad intern that suggested this character design after watching The Golden Girls and lusting after Blanche Devereaux for 7 straight seasons. Like, whoever made this just wanted to get stepped on by Jean Smart, and this is the only way they could artistically express that. Now, that being said, I never proclaimed that was a bad thing. I've stated this already. Diva ages like fine wine. If you can maintain this magnitude of serving into your later years, it's only exponentially more mother to do so. Like, if I see this grown woman at the club, I've lost the night. It's hers. It's hers to have. It could be my birthday out at a drag night. It's hers. Put her on the stage, whatever. I'll tip her. So Megara, you got dealt a bad hand. I am so sorry. I seeded this tournament too, and this is just truly horrible coincidence. But Demeter, you are moving forward. Love you, girl. Okay, Orpheus versus Theseus. Honestly, from a butt versus from a butt that has abs. I would like to clarify that the has abs, not the butt. The butt does not have abs. So Orpheus, boo, boo, tomato, tomato, boo, boo. Sorry. Again, the Orpheus and Eurydice story is the only one that I truly know. And God, do I hate Orpheus in that story. I do not care that you got a redemption arc in the game. I do not care that you spent $8 at Target for a little nail polish to distract us. Without the top coat, mind you, let's put in a little effort. I'm sorry, this will always be the poster child for men who are dumb and stupid and dumb and not smart and stupid and dumb. And you know what's the worst part about it? They made this entire story for Orpheus and men still didn't follow it. They're still not trusting their girlfriends out there. They're still not trusting them. Like, I don't want to hear it. Honestly, my most obnoxious lefty take is that I feel that women should be allowed to cheat at least once a year. Because like, these men are reading these stories and they're not learning their lesson. I'm sorry. Although I guess it is kind of bold for me to assume that this particular flavor of man reads like ever. So honestly, he's making it super easy for his competition, Theseus. To his credit, this is the actual definition of diva. Obsessed with himself, unwavering devotion to his wants and needs. Also, another nip slip king. Bravo, bravo, I must say. Like this man in particular, God help the person that gets his coffee order wrong because those tires are getting slashed. So I could wax more pros on why this man is more diva than Orpheus, but honestly, do I even have to bother? Orpheus sucks, so I'm gonna move you forward. Congratulations, Theseus, by default, I guess. So Hades is one that I feel has a lot of diva potential, but I do also think that he is more concerned with maintaining his Roth IRA than having a gorilla grip. I'm not exactly proud of that sentence, but I'm gonna roll with it. Like Hades is a diva in STEM, but sort of in the same way that the IRS is a diva in STEM, like Slay, but not in the way you would prefer. Not a lot to say. I'm more concerned with his competition, Artemis. Artemis girl, if you will. So apparently I did discover that she is apparently she is asexual. So representation for my asexual rat audience, put your paws up. Anyone new to my videos, that's a term of endearment. I'm not calling you rats pejoratively, just know that. I guess this could also be said about Hades, but there is something pretty diva about I am horny for success, and that's it. But there's something about the way that Artemis is driven about success. It's not in the same way that Hades is, you know? Like Hades is doing it because big number go up. Like Hades, I hate to say it, is driven in like a crypto kind of way. Said derogatorily, but Artemis is driven in a way that's kind of attractive, which is really saying something coming from me because I am a platinum gay. I was C-section girl. I've never been near it. So I would say that impact alone truly speaks volumes. I'm gonna move you up, girl. To Symphony, a round of applause again for another high ponytail. She does kind of look like she's been on a 12-day bender, but she did also say, nevertheless, I will serve. Like, sure, drugs are bad. Don't use this as the example image for that. Now, Skelly, I have said this before, there is something just inherently diva about entities. Like, sure, his hair has thinned out, but you know what's also thinned out? That jawline, honey. I do appreciate a facial feminization surgery queen. He even left a tip for the doctor in his mouth. How caring. So it's kind of a competition of party girly versus plastic surgery girly, and honestly, on any given day, it could be either one. But I do feel that if I pick the plastic surgery girly, there is a non-zero chance that one of those Turkish hairline places could see this video and sponsor me for a future one. And honestly, if you're watching, please, 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 I'll do it. I'll pay for the hotel, I'll pay for the flight, I don't care. Just, you see what I mean? So for today, Skelly, congratulations, you are moving on. No one ever tells you that when you're a YouTuber that does skincare, that you have to constantly fight being the shiniest motherfucker that ever lived. So if you see me getting progressively more orange as this video goes on, here's why. Anyway, time for round 2. Okay, Aphrodite versus Thanatos. Honestly, the god of death versus the god of living. That was so stupid. I'm so sorry. So here is my fundamental flaw with writing for diva tournaments. I always write little bullet points for each character, so I have like something to say about them, so I don't like forget certain details. But the problem is that I always say all of them in the first round, and then life decides to say, hey girl, tournaments have more than one round. So I will be improving. I am sorry if it's bad, and also not good. So Thanatos, I am somebody who does sometimes fear death, especially when everything else is going right in life. Like I'm constantly in a situation of like, oh, I'm so glad that I have like really great friends and my YouTube stuff's going well, and honestly my work life is going pretty balanced. Like I'm really happy right now.
Too bad you're gonna die one day.
When did you decide to turn off? Why'd you do that? See, that was Aphrodite saying, don't you dare give that motherfucker my round that I deserve. Being said, we do have an obvious mother of the two, and I do believe it's Aphrodite. I'm so sorry. I don't have to delve into more about her. I do think that she is that woman. I think she is that girl. I adore her. I adore her. I adore her. I'm gonna move her forward. I'm so sorry. So Persephone, you've heard my spiel. Once again, I'm so sorry. I'm so very sorry. I can get the flute again. Now, Hermes had a bye in the last round, so I didn't delve into him very much. I do feel that this is another one that cares a little bit too much to be fully diva, you know? Like great representation for our Ritalin-needing baddies. And if he actually took his prescription, we probably would see a level of demure that would crumble most societies. But until then, I cannot absorb the level of you are serving if you are speaking too fast for me to understand it. I am viscerally aware that it is me that just said that. But you know what's so funny is that people tell me like, you're my favorite YouTuber because you're the only one I don't have to go 1.5 speed on because you talk so fast. I don't hear it. In my mind, I talk very normal speed. And then I watch it back and I'm like, how does anyone talk to me? So while I do think that she moved on via apology last time, I do think this time she actually is out-serving Hermes at this present moment. Like I think Hermes has a chance in the future, but for now, I think Persephone is that girl. Oh, don't we all kind of wish we were Cerberus in this moment? Like getting dog walked by goth mommy, twist my arm, and maybe a nip or two. I'm so sorry, that was so bad. Again, Cerberus, you just have those two stupid siblings holding you back. I'm so sorry. Whereas Nyx only has one head, and it's never received any complaints. Sometimes I worry that I make too many innuendos in my videos, but also there's like middle schoolers watching Euphoria now. Like I feel like I'm not that bad in the grand scheme of things. Anyway, Nyx moving forward. Love you, girl. Kisses. Okay, Asterios versus Karen. Both intimidating, but in completely different ways. Like, Karen could destroy me. Asterios, I would let destroy me. So I cannot think with my gay little lustful rat brain right now. Which, full transparency, is screaming Asterios right now. It's like, Asterios! And I do have to give it to the actual one who is serving, and that is Karen. Asterios, I am so sorry to take you out. If you ever need any comfort, that is a queen-sized bed. I'm gonna be honest, they're kind of having a gay off. Both gay in completely different ways. Like, they said but the fonts are completely different. Like, don't get me wrong, Electo is very like terrifying, which is mother, but Chaos doesn't even have to say anything about it. It's like so unspoken. It's a very subtle, very calm fear. Like, Chaos is saying nothing and I'm quivering in my boots, girl. So I do feel like this is another blowout. Chaos, you are moving on, Diva. In my headcanon, these are besties. They do not care who moves on because as long as one of their friends is, they're happy. They both hate men for completely valid reasons. Also, speaking as a man, they don't even really need a reason if they wanted to hate a man. Like, you can just proactively hate men and they'll find a reason to prove it later. It doesn't matter. Some people hate my anti-men arguments, but also, like, we suck, guys. We suck. Like, you have to admit it before you can grow. Sorry. I feel like for this round, it is Athena's to take. Eurydice has it all, but I feel like she's very young about it, you know? Like, she's gonna do great in an all-star season, which I'm absolutely doing if you keep watching these videos. Please just keep that in mind. But for today, I do think this is Athena's to take. Congratulations, Diva. Okay, so Demeter versus Theseus. I mean, just take him out back and shoot him. I'm sorry. Again, we have another like hydrogen bomb versus coughing baby situation. Like, it's just, there's no competition. I'm sorry. I'm keeping this one short because I'm sure that I will be talking about this Diva a lot more as this tournament goes on. Demeter, congratulations. Okay, so Artemis versus Skelly. Another blowout, I'm sorry. Like, it's camp versus and audience, what are we watching today? The what tournament? Diva, exactly. So again, I'm gonna keep this one short. I'll wax more poetry about her in a minute, don't worry. Artemis, you win this one, love you girl. All right, let's bring in the quarterfinals. All right, so Athena versus Persephone. That's not Athena. Okay, so Aphrodite versus Persephone. It is very much literal mother versus mommy. Like, can we call it what it is? Let's be real here. I think I have given Persephone enough flowers now to say I am very sorry to all of her stands out there. Whereas Aphrodite, this girl is owed at least a semifinal. I'm sorry. Because here's the thing, I may be 31, but I do love K-pop, and I do love a pink ass wig. Like, she's an accessorizing diva with a tasteful side boob. What can't she do? The world is her oyster. I'm sorry. Another one where I'm not really like beating my head against a wall to make the decision. I'm sorry. It's Aphrodite. So here's the thing. Again, kind of a blowout. Like, divas, say it for me. I'm sorry, say it for me. Nyx. It's Nyx. We all know it's Nyx. Because here's the thing. I do believe that Karen would accept the Diva Cup gladly, carry it around with pride, and represent the title well. However, Karen is a working girl, okay? Like, Karen's job is Ubering people to the underworld. And that happens a lot, okay? People be sinning. Like, that is a non-stop job. Truly a single mom that works 2 jobs. So I just don't think it could readily accept the duties that come with owning the Diva Cup. Like, you have to make the appearances. You have to show face. You have to go to the Good Morning America interview the next day after this tournament. This is a very popular YouTube channel. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Nyx, however, nothing but spare time. Generational wealth. She doesn't have to marry into it. She has it. You don't get a mug like this without daily 2-hour sessions in that makeup chair and also weekly sessions for facials and Botox treatment. And inherently, that requires so much money and, more importantly, so much time. So Karen, do not perceive this as a lack of rather a lack of time. And that is not your fault at all. But Nyx, congratulations. All right, so Chaos versus Athena. I do fear any decision I make in this situation because I am going to get my tires slashed regardless. Because Chaos does emit a sort of primal fear about their intimidation, whereas Athena kind of just goes up to you and whispers, I have a gun. Like, don't get me wrong, once again, Athena does have a ponytail, even if it's an illusion, but Chaos does have 2 winged pigtails. And is that arguably here? I think so. Because while Athena is serving, Chaos has 3 eyes and probably 2 pussies. Super mother. Also, just know that you're both winners in my eye because you both have incredible shaped jawlines. Your doctors are artists. I feel like this is giving like teacher versus student, if I'm being real. Like Artemis, hottie, cannot deny that. We'll never deny that. But here's the thing, like when it comes to Demeter, none of us are worthy. None of us are worthy. Like Demeter doesn't even know what IKEA is. Like she's only ever shopped at West Elm. I understand that some of you don't understand how rich of a sentence that was, but it's pretty rich. Like this woman is opulence incarnate. And you have to understand that I come from an area of East Texas where being in a different tax bracket is more of a state of mind than an actual thing you can financially back up. So I respect the hell out of this lady for that exact purpose. Like she she doesn't need to be rich. You know what I mean? I feel like that joke is not going to sit very well with the people that think that I glorify being rich because I make too many jokes about it, but they have to also consider the counter argument of shut up and unclench, I'm not rich. Anyway, I love you, Demeter. Moving on. I know you would never take one of my jokes too seriously. Take note. All right, we're on to the semifinals. I can't do this. I am not excited to make this decision. Here truly begins the bloodbath I was so worried about getting to, because I know that no matter what, I'm getting doxxed for this. And honestly, I can't even blame them, because like if I was a big fan of either of these girlies and some dumb white gay online was making rash decisions about them, prison. So just know that my decision is being made with the heaviest heart imaginable. My heart's ass is so fat right now. But I do feel that maybe Aphrodite is relying on that body a little too much, and I think that Nyx is truly putting in the effort required to make it to the finals. Maybe I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, please comment about it and like and subscribe. But today, that is just how I'm feeling. Nyx, congratulations. I know you are going to do perfectly fine in the finals. I wish you the best of luck. All right, hopefully the next decision will not be as bad. I hate it here. This is somehow an even harder decision. I'm gonna be honest, I had these two seated because I did not want them anywhere near each other until close to the end. I'm literally at a loss for words. I don't know who to pick. Both bring a sort of c'est la vie energy, and I know that I said that caring too much in this competition can actually act as a deficit, but I do feel in this situation that you do need to care a tiny bit, and that is where I feel that Demeter has a slight edge over Chaos. Chaos is purely objective. Like, that much I do know. Like, unfeeling. It is what it is. Whereas Demeter, she's gonna be pissed if she loses. And I do feel that a diva has to showcase being a diva sometimes, and that is going to be in the Diva Tantrum. The Diva Tantrum is a time-honored tradition where a diva lets out their temper just a smidge to give you a slight taste of why you don't want to f with them. It doesn't have to be out there all the time. It really shouldn't be out there all the time, but it needs to show up occasionally in order to stand your ground. So again, a very difficult decision. I do feel that Chaos is so self-assured though, that like they don't need this. They don't need this. They're fine. They're like, I'm Chaos. I got 2 coochies and not a care in this world. So Demeter, congratulations, Grandmama. You are moving on to the finals. Divas and Gentle Divas, we have reached the grand finale. Nyx, Demeter, in my hand, I hold a single image and would you believe it's not charged again? Like, oh, Blake, that's so funny. You're doing this as a running bit. Anyway, be right back. You don't have to say it. I hate me too.
You get a fast car.
Nyx and Demeter, hey girlies, I'm back. In my hand, I hold a singular image, and that image will determine who is the winner of our 3rd installment of the Diva Tournaments. It is at this time that we will hold a moment of silence for the viewers of this video to like and subscribe. Okay, that should be enough time. One has a mug that would stop traffic. The other would probably car bomb a Walmart if they didn't get their way. Who will win? The winner of the Hades Diva Tournament is Demeter. Congratulations, Demeter! Raise your Diva Cup with pride, girl. You fought tooth and nail against some of the hardest opponents, and you have earned it. Here she is, the ultimate diva of all the girly pops. She the most slay. We'll never get tired of singing that song, sorry. So that does it. Another installment of the Diva Tournaments in the books. Please give this lots of love and attention so we can justify making an All-Stars episode. Please, 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 please. But what have we learned from today's episode? I think the moral is, why let the haters get you down when you can be a diva and slash their tires? For legal reasons, that's a joke. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, notification bell, all that good stuff. A true diva would, and I believe that you are. I think you have it in you, girl. If you want to see me between my videos, I try to stream on Twitch at least once a week. Please go follow me there. We also have a Discord if you want to join. It's a really cool opportunity to get involved with some videos and also have some great people there. And thank you once again to Rocket Money for sponsoring this video. And that about does it for me today. Thank you so much for watching. Keep on slaying, and I'll see you in the next video.